Hi, my name is Tamara Walker, and I attend Grand Canyon University. And I'm here today to talk to you about the history of special education, IDEA, and FERPA. Special education today has come a long way due to the passing of many acts. Prior to the 1970s, many children were denied education if they had a disability. Instead, they were taught at home, usually by their parents, or they went without an education. In the 1900s, students were segregated so that if they did receive an education, it was in separate schools, or if they attended, it was in separate classrooms from the other students. The history of special education from the 1970s to present has changed drastically due to the passing of the Education for All Handicapped Children Act in 1975. This act mandated that free and appropriate education be available to all students with disabilities and is referred to as FAP, Free and Appropriate Public Education. This act ensured that all schools had to provide education to all students in the least restrictive environment. This meant that if a student could be taught in a regular classroom with resources, then the school had to accommodate them. This helped give students with disabilities the opportunity to interact with their non-disabled peers. In the 1900s, the Americans with Disabilities Act passed, which helped to provide services to school-age students beyond the classroom. In 1997, the Education for All Handicapped Children was renamed to the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. The renaming of this act was done to show that the person or individual needed to come before the disability. With the changing of this name came about the creation of IEPs, which are individualized education programs. These with parent involvement helped to ensure that each student was given the tools and resources needed to succeed. It acknowledged that the students as regular classmates who were given individualized instruction in a regular classroom to meet their needs. The Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act that was established in 1974 protects the privacy of students' education records. This law allowed parents to access their child's records. It also let the parents make corrections to these records if they found an error. The law also allowed schools to share students' information when it was requested by courts or people who had a direct involvement in the child's education. To stay informed on legal trends in special education, the resources I will use is first the National Association of Special Education Teachers, the NASET. This provides an e-journal that focuses on special education trends. It also has news alerts to help to stay on top of the newest research discoveries. On this site, there are also articles that can be printed and shared with other parents and teachers. Another resource I would use is the Arizona Department of Education. This has information on the resources parents and teachers can use to increase their knowledge, while also listing the most up-to-date issues impacting special education. And finally, another resource I will use is an online newspaper called Special Education News. This newspaper can be used as a resource and a tool to assist parents and teachers, and it can be found online at specialnews.com.